The Women's March on Washington is the biggest peaceful protest in US history. 2.9 million people in the US and 5 million people worldwide came together at 600 demonstrations across the world. And we're gonna tell you all about it and Trump's reaction right now on I.O. What is going down, friends? My name is Charlotte. So, unless you live under a rock, you know about the historic Women's March that took place over the weekend. Regardless of what you believe, people have every right to protest peacefully, and that's exactly what they did. Absolutely no arrests were made at the Women's March on Washington, and I have yet to hear of a report of anyone inciting violence at one of these protests. So what was the Women's March about? Because I sort of feel like a lot of people are confused as to why they were protesting. Well, there was one obvious reason: to resist President Trump. But it wasn't only about protesting against President Trump. That doesn't really solve anything. It was about coming together and making him aware that they are not okay with having their fundamental rights, like reproduction rights, taken away. In addition to that, they demanded equal pay and more opportunities. So naturally, Donald Trump did have a response to the Women's March. I mean, how could he not? More people came out to protest him than they did to support him at his inauguration. Donald Trump at first criticized the protests and tweeted the following: "Watched protests yesterday, but was under the impression that we just had an election. Why didn't these people vote? Celebs hurt cause badly." Not sure what that last part means, but exactly 95 minutes later, he fired off another tweet. But this one had a far different tone. It read, "Peaceful protests are a hallmark of our democracy. Even if I don't always agree, I recognize the rights of the people to express their views." Sounds incredibly diplomatic and presidential. Well done, President Trump. Whether or not it was actually him, I'm glad he ended up sharing a positive response on Twitter. So what now? Because anybody can go to a protest and hold a funny sign and say they are influencing change. While the event's organizers are hoping that the march will encourage women to run for office. Women make up more than half of the US population, yet they hold less than 25% of the seats in US state legislatures. In addition to that, the organizers of the event have begun the next stage of their campaign, called 10 Actions for the First 100 Days, vowing to take action every day for 10 days on an issue. The first action? Write a postcard to your senators about what matters to you and how you're going to continue to fight for it. If you're interested, you can access the whole list and the postcards on the Women's March on Washington website. If you had a chance to be a part of the protest, well done! You've made history. But the fight doesn't end here. Get involved, and don't be afraid to be an outspoken feminist. That is all for now. Thanks for watching I.O. You have just been informed.